Alright, everybody say hi to YouTube. Hello, Mercy. D-Flames. Um, I'm not going to read the new character on the Predecessor YouTube. They have this, or their Discord, Twitter, or whatever. You can just watch the abilities, or you could just saw the dev stream a few days ago. But you can also just pause the video and read it yourself if you're interested. I will read his augments, though, because I didn't see those on the dev stream. So Rate of Fire should still 440% damage and have 100 range. That seems kind of crazy. This seems kind of nuts. This one they showed on the dev stream, kind of mid. Should we take down a standard is spawned at the target's location, really point health regen. It increases fire rate and grants allies attack speed. Probably mid. Some skins. They also have a little video of these ones. This is Akron, Skylar, Bellica getting another skin. This is an overprime skin, actually, if I'm not mistaken. This just looks like the normal skin. Recolor of the Sereth skin. The Opal skin store will start rotating, so if you want anything from the Opal store, might want to buy them now. Am I streaming the patch? No, I don't care to play stuff early. I'll just play when everybody else does. I could care less to play it early. Triple XP. Just for Battle Pass? Oh, well, that's not really triple. I guess it says triple Battle Pass. Kind of bait, though. Eternals, these are basically replacing minor augments. You will still keep your big augments. Basically, there's 12 Eternals, which are basically just major augments that every character has. And when you select one, they then have two minor augments attached to the Eternal itself. And you get to choose one of three for each of those minors. So you'll still have the big one for each character, and then you'll have one major blessing, which is basically just a big augment. And then each specific blessing will have three minors that you can choose from for 1 and 2 slot. So you'll basically just have 4 augments now, for the most part. Vermis, which is the first one, every third basic attack within 2.5 seconds deals bonus damage based on their max health. So probably good on like auto attack characters, like on hit characters. So like Sparrow, stuff like that. People that like Stormbreaker, things like that. Minor blessings. The major blessing is more effective, but you don't crit strike. Pretty reasonable. I'm not going to read like all of these because there is a lot. I will read the major parts, the minor ones. I'll just kind of skim through. If there's anything that jumps out to me, I'll talk about it. This one doing 5% max HP when you immobilize seems pretty good. Kind of interesting for like a soul lane or like steel or something like that, especially with his 1-2 punch. Deal 10% more damage to people that have more than 125 physical armor. That's like one physical defense item, which is kind of interesting. Base armor for physical is like already like 80, 90 for a lot of characters late game. So this is literally just like if they have one item, you'll just do more damage. Take 10% less damage from AoE abilities, kind of mid. Marrow, gain Omnivamp per missing HP. Doubles when you kill an enemy hero. Kind of weird that it doubles, but sure. Anything interesting here? Crit strikes deal 20% true damage. Only if they're below 25%. Okay, it's like whatever then. I wish they had a dark mode. This is very hard to read. This is messing with my eyes. Hold on. I gotta turn on my fucking monitor blue light filter. This is tripping me out real quick. A little easier to read. 100% damage to heroes for 3 seconds, gain 1% lifesteal per 100 charges. So you get every 100 damage, you get 1% lifesteal. That seems really strong. There's a lot so much. Yeah, I mean, the blessings are a lot. That's why I'm not going to read like all of the minor ones. I'm just kind of skimming through them, see if there's anything super interesting. Achieving a takedown gives you 20 bonus gold per previous takedown. That seems pretty strong, especially on characters like Revenant that already get bonus gold. 10% more damage against people that have lower or have more HP than you. More current HP is interesting though. It's not max HP. Almost within 40 units have their base health regen decreased by 100%, granting it to yourself. This in solo lane is probably absolutely insane. You probably literally just never get poked out of lane if you have this. Primarchs. Wait. Okay, so there's like 2 for each class. Is that what this is? So like the idea. Okay, I understand. Mark the last hero, damaged by your basic attack for 3 seconds, increasing your damage against them by 3%, plus 0.5% per level, and decreasing damage taken by them. This seems really strong on literally everybody. Isolated damage increase, pretty strong. Basic attacks against enemy heroes grant you 7 gold. This might be the best minor augment in the game. That is pretty insane. This is absolutely bonkers, to be honest with you. This should probably not exist. Honestly, this probably should not make it to live client. I'm not gonna lie. That is probably the best minor blessing in the game. I probably don't even need to read the rest, honestly. Gain 2% attack speed for every 1 second spent in hero combat, stacking infinitely. Stacks are lost upon exiting hero combat. Again, super strong. Take 12% less damage from AoE abilities. So this is literally just better than the other one. Okay. By casting your ultimate yourself and allies within 15, you gain 20% movement speed. Irrelevant. Yeah, this might be the best blessing there is. You just get your items online faster. We'll see, though. I gotta keep reading. Nil. Damage to a hero to gain Doom for 3 seconds. Doom grants 1 physical power, 2 magical power, 1 of each armor for 3 seconds. Upon leveling or achieving a takedown, the stats offered by Doom are permanently increased by 20%. Okay. But they still only last 3 seconds, so it's kind of like whatever. You could definitely snowball pretty hard, though. I don't know. Interesting, but I don't think it's that good. 15% bonus damage permanently. That's really strong. This is irrelevant. This is just Kalari, like, regen passive. Still 10 plus 1% targets max mana from them. Irrelevant, probably. Stacking armor. People that use movement abilities next to you are slowed. Doesn't matter. Minions deal 30% less damage to you. Towers 15% less instead. Irrelevant. This blessing sucks. Dreadnought. These are like tankier ones, I assume. 10%, 10% plus 1% per level. Increase max health and bonus size equal to 0.5% of your max health. That seems pretty good. You're basically just getting 28% max HP. I assume this would count as bonus HP, so abilities that do bonus HP damage, like Richter 2 or Severog Cube, probably really, really good. When killing an enemy unit, restore 1.25% of your max health. That seems pretty solid. If you haven't taken damage from a hero for 8 seconds, regenerate max health per second. Seems pretty good in like support. Enemy heroes damaged by air dot. Nobody cares about dot. Doesn't matter. Cannibalism takedowns permanently increase your max health by 30. It's not that relevant, but you never know. Could make a difference, especially if you're already playing a character that scales HP like Sev or Acheron. 12% attack speed for every enemy hero. Kind of irrelevant. Maybe get on Grux. Camp Bitter kills grant 8% bonus damage for 20 seconds. So like a jungle thing. It's like whatever. This used to be on an item, if I'm not mistaken, and it used to be really good. But they removed it a long time ago. I forget when. It's like first year of the game. This used to be on an item. But I think it used to last like 30 seconds or something. 20 might not be enough time. Off cooldown above 30% health. Gain 15% increased physical armor. and magical armor, falling below 30% consumes, granting a 4-second shield equal to 150% of your armor. This shit is trash. And here's a base tech. You have their movement speed decreased. That's pretty good. Movement speed is really strong, so reducing movement speed is obviously good. And it's not a slow, it's a reduced movement speed, which means slowing them would cause them to be slowed even further. 10% bonus damage from mobilized targets, and it's kind of whatever. Take damage from a hero, store 8% of your missing health, relevant. Basic attacks decrease attack speed, that's pretty good, especially since attack speed decreases stack, so like Frost Guard, things like that will stack. Permanently gain 1 increased magical armor per every 300 total gold. Is this supposed to be specifically magical armor or both? Gain 4% increased pen per finished item. This is irrelevant. This is kind of like okay. It being only magical though is like kind of whatever. Because realistically, late game, you're like 15,000 gold. So what's the math on that? It's at 50 armor or 500. It's 50, right? I don't know. I can't do math right now. I'm pretty sure it's 50, right? It's just one item. Yeah. So it's like 50. So kind of whatever. I don't think that's very good. I think this augment probably trash. Imperious entities of astral lineage. These are more mage blessings, I assume. Damaging a hero with an ability deals 6%, plus 0.5% minute of the damage as a dot over 3 seconds. Interesting. Not sure it'll be that good. You basically do 20% bonus damage late game as dot. Kind of interesting. I'm curious if this would stack things like World Breaker, because it would make those items a lot better at least, which could give it some good synergy. Gain magical lifesteal. That's ass. Takedowns grant 2 ability haste. That could be good, but you kind of have to snowball really hard. Realistically, you're probably getting like 10 to 15 haste out of this, which is just not relevant. Thundershing level 10, gain 5% ult damage and 25 ult ability haste. This is really good, specifically if you're going to go like flat pen builds. But you get no value early game. Realistically, I'd probably rather just have free gold. Major Blessing deals 2% of the target's current health as bonus damage. If this was max HP, it would be really good. Current HP, it's kind of mid. To casting your ultimate, gain a shield equal to 15% of your max mana. Irrelevant. Every 60 seconds, increase your ultimate's ability damage by 1%. This is really good. This augment's probably like mid tier. Just because this minor blessing carries it, honestly. Like this, kind of irrelevant. The ult damage is nice, but you have to be level 10. The actual blessing itself is kind of whatever. This minor one, really strong. I'd probably put this one at mid. Initial thoughts. I could be wrong on a lot of these, but I think my initial thoughts are usually pretty accurate for things like these, so we will see. Permanently gain 0.75% bonus damage per 10 units killed. This is really strong. Realistically, you're probably like 250 CS late game, so like, let me bust out the old calculator real quick. I don't feel like doing math again. Quick maths. You're getting an extra 187% damage. Wait. No, that math is wrong. I'm a fucking idiot. Hold on. I forgot to, it's by 10. Okay. So you're getting like 20% more damage. I'm a fucking idiot. I can't do math. This is why I didn't want to do math. You're getting like 20% extra damage. Yeah, I can't do math. That's kind of like, it's pretty strong. But I don't know if it's as strong as just getting your items online faster. That's pretty good, though. If the minor augments are good, I could see this augment being good. Entering here, combat grants 20% attack speed. Sure. This is probably really good on, like, rugs.
The only losses are the ones that you don't, that, like, are realized. You know what I mean?
Let me thank for the sub, man. I appreciate it. Hello, Saucy. Takedowns heal you for 50 plus 50% missing HP. It's whatever. Over 12% damage dealt by your critical strikes. Nobody's building crit. I'm gonna be honest. This one seems strong though. Getting 20% attack speed for free, especially on characters like Grux. Because when you hit somebody on Grux, you're getting an extra 15 from his major augment, which means you don't have to build attack speed items. Pretty strong. 10% bonus damage to minions and monsters. Irrelevant. Takedowns permanently grant you 1.5 physical power and 3 magical power. Caps at 20 stacks. It's decent. You still do have to get kills though, so it's like a snowball kind of item. 20% bonus damage to targets who are above 60. Is that 85 or 65? I can't tell because my fucking mind's 85. Okay. Bro, you gotta change this background color, Ace. Holy shit. Please add the dark mode again. Please. This shit is so hard to read for me. 85%, kind of irrelevant. Realistically, you're probably just getting the scaling one, but it's kind of hit or miss. This augment's probably still mid, but on the higher end of mid, like it's better than the one prior to it. Exarch. Healing or shielding a target, including yourself, grants them 10% attack speed and 10% bonus magical on hits. It's kind of whatever. Although Narbash does kind of have this active perma. Still kind of whatever. 8 health regen equal to your bonus mana regen. Irrelevant. Then a healer healing you receive is increased by 15%. This is pretty good. Casting ability increases current basic ability cooldowns by 0.3 seconds. This is interesting. I don't know if that's relevant, especially for a character like this. Just kind of only useful for, like, I don't know, Muriel, somebody that's like actively doing it consistently, where you're actually casting the ability. Hello, Lasso. If you stack it with Eviscerate on targets above 85% health, it's 40% damage. Alright, so we're just leaking patch notes. I assume that means you changed Eviscerator in some way. We'll get there eventually. This is going to be a long video. For your basic attacks, examining heroes, restore 2 plus per level and magical power health to yourself and allies within 1,000 units. Healing your allies is nice. Gain 5% movement speed when out of combat. Sorry, 8%. This fucking thing is killing my eyes. 25% of the ability damage you take is stored and dealt to yourself as a dot over 3 seconds. This is interesting. It means you don't just die instantly. And if you have healing, theoretically you can heal out of the threshold of dying. This augment, honestly, kind of low. I would low diff this one. Not great. I would not want my teammate to have this augment if I saw it. I'd be like, why is that guy building an ass augment? I'm gonna be honest. Initial thoughts. This seems very subpar. Okay, next one, Lotus. Every 2 minutes and every takedown you achieve, grants 1.75% damage plus 4 ability haste, plus 0.75% movement speed or 2% max health. Okay, so you get one of these randomly with no stacking. Or no cap. That could be very strong. It really just depends on what you high roll and what character you're playing. Gain an additional level upon reaching level 10. That's irrelevant. This doesn't matter. You can only get to level 18, so like getting an extra level early doesn't matter. Interestingly enough, though, I believe Gadget gets a level with her major augment, so you would just get 2 levels up on somebody immediately, which could be kind of interesting. If I'm not mistaken, let me check. Yeah, so on Gadget, you could just like snowball the 2 levels ahead, which could be interesting. I'm not sure if that's actually that relevant, but an interesting thought. Damage enemy hero with the ability to hit yourself and allies for 8 plus 10% magical power health once per cast. This is strong, especially if you're building a very high cooldown character. Kills grant 5% damage and 6% movement speed. This is just Fate passive. It's kind of whatever. It doesn't last forever, so it's whatever. Gain 35% damage reduction above 90% current health. This is really good, specifically against getting bursted. 14% increased damage to all heroes, but you also take 7% increased damage. This is really strong, especially for a backline character. True damage is increased by 15% against heroes within 800 units. This is irrelevant. This one's pretty strong. Yes, you're going to die fast, but you already get one shot anyway, so what does it fucking matter? Just do more damage. This augment, I'd rate it like high mid. Probably like 4th best that I've read so far, 3rd best. Hello, Chalkin. These notes are a whole book. I mean, this is going to be a very long patch notes. Demiurge increases stats gain from items, including passive effects. I would expect the hero bounce stuff to not be that heavy, to be honest. Stats gain from items, not including passives and crests, by 15%, and damage dealt by item effects by 12. Kind of mid. I don't think this matters that much. Although just getting 15% stats is kind of nice, but I'm not sure how relevant that actually is in terms of like the overall math. I would have to math that out. 6% bonus damage on hit when it's damage type randomly chosen for physical or magical is true and true damage each attack. That's pretty good. If you just do free true damage, that's really strong. Interesting. Not sure how good it is, but interesting. Gain 1% increased damage, 1% damage reduction for each item owned. This does not mean full items. You could just buy 6 tier 1 items and you just get 6%. Not great, honestly. It's just not enough, I don't think. Gain 1 physical power for every 5 magical power you possess. This is really interesting on characters like Wraith. One of his biggest problems is that when you go the magical build, you can't trade auto attacks because you have no physical power. So you basically are solely reliant on your abilities, which has a cooldown, of course. This is probably really good on characters like that, where you're building Magical Wraith. Or like Grim, if you're building, what's it called? The dual item, I forget what the fuck it's called. 50% across 6 items is like an extra item. So it's like 7 items. Correct. But it just depends on what you're building. Because it's like, like if you have 1,000 power, 50% is very relevant. But if you're like hybrid, like if you're playing like hybrid Kwang, for example, it's not that relevant. Where you're like 300 power, then you have like 150 of each prots, much less relevant. I think this is probably more relevant if you're like straight into one character. Also, it not including passives kind of sucks because I assume this is literally just for steel, it not including passives because that would be OP as fuck on steel. That would be my guess. But anyways, moving on. Convert every 1% crit strike to 1 ability haste. I did see something on Reddit about one of these. I think it's in this one. It is not. Okay, I don't see it. I'll bring it up when I see it. On ability cast, gain 6% mana cost as permanent max mana. Upon getting 600 max mana, permanently gain 5% movement speed. Okay, this is actually pretty insane. For Gideon specifically, Gideon will just get an insane amount of mana. This is actually insane. Unless they change Gideon at some point in this patch, you will build this on Gideon every game. This is very strong. Gain 1.25% increased base health, mana, and physical power. Increase the growth of these stats by the same amount as you level up. What does that get to? 22%? No. Is that math right? Should be 19 plus 4, 23.7. Interesting. But this doesn't benefit passive effects or crest, so it doesn't get boosted either, which kind of sucks. But yeah, I think Memory Leak will be really good on Gideon. I don't know if it'll be better than the other ones, though. Okay, Ion. I think this is the last one. It is, okay. Casting a spell grants 1 mana regen for 8 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Additionally, your spells grant gold equal to 8% of damage dealt. Gaining gold equal to 8% of damage dealt. That is pretty strong. Realistically, you're doing 40k in a game. You're getting 8%, so you're getting 800 gold. It's not that relevant, actually. Yeah, it's not that relevant. And that's like total damage, not including not including abilities. So like, it's probably even less than that. Not that relevant. Every 10 seconds, generate 5 gold. That's really good. This time reduces by percentage based on your ability haste. Okay, interesting. So you get more gold faster the more haste you have. Gain 2 mana regen for 5 seconds when killing an enemy unit. The mana regen gained is 30 times more effective when killing an enemy hero. Irrelevant. Killing buff restores a potion charge and further grants you 4 magical power. I mean, realistically, you're killing every 2 minutes after 3, so like 15 minutes, you're killing 12. 8% of 4,000, 40,000. Is it? Is that 3,200? Hold on. See, this is why I don't want to do math today. My math doesn't work. Oh, you're right. Yeah, I can't do math. This is why I don't want to do math today. No, you're right. Yeah, that's why I don't want to do math today. Because I'm a fucking idiot. Look, I'm sad. I haven't had coffee today. I just woke up. I'm tired. I don't feel like doing math. Even if it was 4,000, roughly, I still don't think that's relevant. Unless you guys added 3K pots at the end of the game. Save the math for the calculator. Look, this is why I don't want to do math today, okay? Leave me alone. I still think this sucks. This also sucks. Realistically, you're killing like at max 10 river buffs a game, which is irrelevant. Basic ability cooldowns and philosopher progress 1% faster for every mana regen you possess. This is good, but not good enough. Well, above 90% HP, gain 30 ability haste. That's interesting. Gain 0.15% increased magical power per 1% current mana. This is pretty strong. It's current mana, though, which kind of sucks. But I'd put this one like mid tier, probably, this augment. I think realistically, the one that gives you gold on your auto attacks is probably the best by far. Hard to say, though. Little spoilers, little spoilers. I scrolled too far. Okay, Daybreak V5. This is the new map. I didn't play the fourth version of it, but I believe this is like. I heard this was like closer towards the end of the map, like towards like them being more completed with it. So I'm curious to see how this one is. Not sure how accurate that information was, but I was told that by somebody not on the dev team, but I did hear that at some point that this is okay. It is the last version. Okay, they say it here. Okay, so I'm not. No leaks. No leaks. New objective shrines. You get gold, global gold, permanently grants the killer 2 ability haste, grants a team-wide buff on kill. Interesting. Team buff granting 8% damage against towers. Okay, the buff is twice as effective if both shrines are controlled by the same team. They last for 120 seconds. That is 800 HP. Interesting. Jungle river buffs replaced with jungle bugs. They're always the same type of river bug and called jungle bugs to differentiate them. I don't know what that means. Sure. You get more gold but less XP from gold. Grants more XP but less gold from cyan. This makes sense. It should be like that even on the main game mode. Gameplay, individual hero, and balance on the later end for this pass. We already knew this was going to happen because they have a large system being added. Uh, there will be some volatility, of course. It's a big feature being added. Again, minor augments being removed. Uh, Heroes receive a large increase to base durability. Thank God. Been asking for this for literally ever. Um, all heroes have received an increase to their cooldowns. We're relevant. Good. Just to combat the ability haste. So realistically, you probably won't notice too big of a difference. Is what that says to me, but I don't know. We'll see. Physical pen, calculation adjusted to be multiplicative, making it less potent when stacked. Like flat pen? This would just be counterproductive to flat pen, which defeats the whole purpose of flat pen. Oh, it says percent. Sorry, I can't read. Dude, it's this fucking white background. I can't. Oh man, this shit is
Your
killing
mother
my
told me
eyes.
the map was close to completion, or maybe she was only talking about herself or you.
All right, take 2 minutes. There were river buffs in the jungle, not including ones for mid. Yeah, so why are they mentioning them? They were already there. That's why I was like confused. The way they read that, it was like they replaced red and blue buff with something else. But anyways, tenacity stat reworked. Uh, Using the same formula, that basically means you get diminishing returns, but it is uncapped, which is positive. I feel like in general, that also means like the less you have, the more effective like per tenacity you have. So like the first 20 tenacity will be really strong compared to like the last 20 that you get, um, which is good. It's interesting. Not sure if it solves the problem. I kind of wish they would add diminishing returns on consecutive CCs. Yeah, patch out Dark Blood. Dude, they used to have it, I'm telling you. Um, Boss monster health increased. Fang Orb set. Who cares? Various carry mage assassin items receive slight approximate 5 to 10% increases the power stats they offer, ensuring they appropriately match the durability increases while differentiating. Okay, so why do we keep doing this? We've done this 4 patches in a row or some shit like that. Like, we keep doing this. You go, I don't want people to die as fast, so we're going to increase the damage in the game while also increasing HP, so it's going to be the fucking same. Or vice versa. We're going to lower the damage on items, but we're also going to lower everybody's fucking HP, so it's the same. Stop doing this shit. Just do one at a time. God damn it. Holy fuck. Pick one, do one, then do the other one. Holy fuck. I can't stand that shit. You do this every patch. I see this shit every patch. Pick one, man. Holy fuck. I'm glad you're nerfing bruisers, though. Like, it's not affecting bruisers. Healing shield power items all receive slight increases to the stats now that divination minor augment has been removed. Well, the minor augment was like 6%, so I don't imagine this is like a big increase. Smaller amounts of game balance, ARAM balance pass to address outliers. Incorporate unique balance values for specific Eternals that require them. Okay. Minor augments removed. Inhibitors could rarely become immune to damage upon respawning. Never seen that before. Cleansing and knockup will now return air control to the player. That's interesting. Means you can like cleanse Seville and then like move forward. Before you were just locked into the animation still, even though you could like auto attack and stuff. So this is what I was talking about, where the first item that you get will be much more valuable. Percent armor, penetration tread. So you now get diminishing returns on shred. So they stack separately. So 30%, then the next one's calculated to 20%. So you get less on the second shred, which is honestly probably a good change. But it does kind of make some builds a little lame. Omnivamp is made into unique stat, meaning it no longer grants both lifesteal and magical lifesteal stats independently for the sake of the engine code, but instead is a standalone value stated in the game. Abilities that state they benefit from lifesteal now also work with magical lifesteal, like Wraith's right click. That's interesting. That's interesting, especially since Wraith's right click doesn't do magic damage. And if you did build magical augment, it would benefit from magical lifesteal, I'm pretty sure. So that's like kind of weird. How do they change the cap? Did they increase the cap? They made it diminishing returns with no cap. So basically, if you have 20%, you get, let's just say, 25 tenacity effectively. If you have 40%, you have effectively, like, I don't know, 38% tenacity. If you have 60 tenacity, you go to like, I don't know, 50% tenacity or something. Just not obviously using the formula that they have, but just like an example. But you can go above 60% if you have enough. So you can build like 200 tenacity and you would have like 80%. That allows them to more fine tune how much tenacity they give to items and allows them to give it to more items in general, theoretically. So I think that's a good change. Fangtooth getting significantly tankier. Extra 800 HP on spawn is really strong. Plus 150 per level. Definitely going to be a lot harder to kill. Primal Fang also getting a lot tankier. Mini Prime getting tankier. Prime buff does give you more armor. Oh, no, it gives you less armors now. Decreased. I thought that said increased. I can't read, dude. My eyes are killing me. Maybe I shouldn't have did this first thing on the stream today. You get 5% less bonus armors. That sucks. Orb Prime, significantly tankier. Probably not going to be able to do these in front of people anymore, like you can now. Shaper health increased as well. Seedling health increased slightly. Magical armor decreased though. So that's nice, I guess. Okay, hero balance. Woo! Let's go! Finally to the heroes. Okay. Health increased. Health growth increased. This is just most characters, I believe. All characters base their ability increased power from eternal ensure the TK in the game is healthier spot. General adjustments to their cooldowns to account for ability haste from the augments. Various heroes that relied on Alchemist for mana sustain have received mana/mana regen to increase the offset the loss now that it's removed. I would have liked to just see more Eternals have mana in the items to kind of force people to build those and not just all build the same one. Some target balance adjustments to adjust outliers. So Adele, cooldown decreased on the 2. Sorry, damage decreased on the 2. And the cooldown is increased. The grapple is increased early game, decreased late game. Ult increased early game. Not too much of a change to Adele. I would still expect her to be a top tier pick. But I don't know. The Eternals could change who's good. In your calculation, or Prime has possibility to reach 30k HP. I believe you cap at level 20. Or camps cap at level 22, I think. So it'd be the math now. Let me just do the math. Does that cap at 30? Is that a 30,000 cap? Or is it like 28? Something like that. It's a lot. We'll bust out the old calculator again because I can't do math today, dude. I'm not. Kind of weird because math, I'm usually really good at math. No, okay. So it's 28. Level 15 is cap. Did you guys change it? I thought it was 22. Or are the major bosses separate from camps? I thought camps go to 22. Or was it 11? Though you changed it at some point. I think it was 11, but it was every 2 minutes, so it was at 22 minutes, is what I'm thinking of. I can't do math. I'm pretty sure it was 11 at some point. Because I remember it was 11 and they level every 2 minutes. Which I think where I'm going to get 22 from. Normal camps don't gain after 11. Yeah, okay, so it is just normal camps are 11, okay.
Toad creature
So yeah, I wasn't
human that
tripping.
frog ass. Ooh.
I knew I was getting that from somewhere. Oh, thank you for that 33 months. I appreciate it. Acheron, a little bit tankier, of course. Cooldown increased on his 1. Good. Fuck this ability. Can you fix the hitbox on this shit? Hitting you when you're not even remotely close.
Hey, question. Can you do math?
Not right now. Thank you for the watch streak, Bellu. Weblash, cooldown increased. Good. Fuck this character. Healing decreased. Good. Fuck this character. Max health scaling decreased. Good. Fuck this character. And the cooldown increased by 2 seconds late game. Really strong. Good. Fuck this character. Alt change reduced. Cooldown. Argus take here. His Q lower cooldown by 2 seconds. Sorry, higher cooldown by 2 seconds. Cooldown increased on the 2 as well by 2 seconds. And the cooldown on the ult increased by 5 seconds. Pretty big nerf to Argus. We decided to remove Aurora from the game. We're actually just going to skip all this because she's removed from the game. 2 extra seconds on her 2. 1 extra second on her 1. These are just cooldown adjustments. 1 extra second on her 3. And a little bit more cooldown on the ult. Bale, tenacity changed from 30 to 40. This is just, I assume, to make it the same as what it is now. Cooldown on the 1 increased. Healing change on the 2 decreased. Or, sorry, decreased early game, increased late game. Good change. I'm going to probably just skip a lot of these cooldown ones because it just seems like everybody's cooldowns are getting increased. So I don't think it's really a point to read them all for every character. Tankier Boris, health scaling decrease. Sorry, physical power healing scaling decreased on his passive. Power to combat, the amount of physical power that you could build on the next patch. Cooldowns, who cares? Cooldowns. Count as tankier. Cooldowns. Healing decreased. This is a good change. Cooldowns, or whatever. Crunch, just cooldowns. Healing decreased on the ultimate, though. This is good. Hello, Decker. Mommy. I mean, cooldowns, irrelevant. Cooldowns, irrelevant. Cooldowns.
These bitches are the Oprah Winfrey of gaming. You get a cooldown, and you get a cooldown.
That's true. This is honestly overall probably a good thing. It'll definitely lower the amount of overall burst in the game. Does slightly buff ADCs in a way though. Eden getting all of her cooldowns nerfed. Definitely more relevant than some of the other characters as she's a stance switcher. Mana cost decreased on Feng Mao Q. Bad change. Feng Mao's OP as fuck right now. Cooldown. Gadget, cooldown. Did get changed. Cooldown. I'm surprised Gideon right click is not getting hit harder considering the other augment that gives you double haste for a mana. Kind of interesting. Not sure if that'll actually be relevant. Max health healing scaling decreased slightly for Greystone. Cooldown. Sure. Max health healing decreased from 3 to 2%. Missing health healing changed from 5 to 13 to 4 to 16. So it's just you get to scale it to get more benefits. Cooldown increased. Cooldowns. Mana cost on cluster grenades decreased. Doesn't matter. Cooldowns. Some more cooldowns. Okay, let's get to like any relevant changes. Health regen increase for Chimera. That's a good thing. Decreased early game, increased late game. Chimera still sucks. Might be better if he doesn't insta-die next patch. We'll see, though. Max health scaling increased on Chimera healing from his 2. Don't think that's relevant enough, honestly. We'll see. Chimera still kind of sucks. Probably still sucks next patch. Mercy cooldown refund on hit decreased from 1 second to 0.75 seconds. This is on the right-click augment that lowers the cooldown of the right-click as well as your other abilities when you hit somebody. Now benefits from lifesteal on the right click. I thought this already occurred, but maybe I'm mistaken. Now benefits both lifesteal and magical lifesteal. Interesting. Don't think that matters. Cooldowns. Healing decrease from Mako 1. Sure. Haven't really seen Mako played actually that much this patch. Not sure people enjoy playing him right now. Mako's ult would not push the augment. That's a good change. They finally fixed that. Now travels through player-made terrain. That's good. That means this travels through like Zara's cage and stuff like that. Whereas before I don't think it did. At least if it was the enemy Zaris or something like that. This is a good change. That's allows a lot more interactive interactions. Less healing for Morgish too. Less healing for Morgish right click. They could just remove that character from the game as well. Max health scaling on the passive decreased on more, and the base healing increased late game but decreased early game. And then cooldowns, and some more cooldowns, and some cooldowns. Shield magical power scaling increased for real. Finally a buff. Holy shit! Is that the first buff of the patch? Wait a second. Hold on a minute. Mana cost decreased on her too. We're actually buffing a character? Okay. Healing increased on Narbash. Healing scaling increased as well. Okay, Narbash. It's looking like we're back into Narbash meta, boys. Including Urwal. Urwal's probably a better example, yeah. Of like a player-made wall, yeah. More cooldowns. Neon, more cooldowns. Phase, more cooldowns. They nerf her flash. Please change the flash shit, dude. Put it on like a 5-second cooldown. Putting it to 1 is fucking stupid. Salt rework, Rumble no longer has no cooldown. Instead, Rumble's cooldown is now refunded when it damages an enemy unit. Okay, so if you miss Rumble, it goes on full cooldown. That's honestly kind of a good, interesting change. You can't just ape it now. You have to actually like hit somebody or something. That's a good change. Additional damage taken during ult with mini ramp is increased. Probably a good change. Tenacity change to make it a little bit more consistent. Boulder throw, cooldowns, cooldowns, cooldowns. Max health regen decreased. Early game. Cooldowns. Cooldowns, cooldowns, cooldowns. Cooldowns, 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 cooldowns. Shield health scaling decreased on Richter. That kind of sucks. Cooldowns, though. Cooldowns and more cooldowns. All cooldowns. Omnivamp decreased on Sevarog Q. Or Sevarog passive. Tier 1. Sad. Bonus health scaling decreased. Sad. Additional monster damage decreased slightly. It's like irrelevant. It is a lower cooldown late game though, which is kind of interesting, even though it's higher early game. 3-second cooldown late game is really strong. You're just gonna be getting fisted by Sev the entire game. Cooldowns, 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 all cooldowns. It's all cooldowns. Total scaling on the augment decreased. I believe this is the auto attack one, if I'm not mistaken. Conversion is also decreased by 33%. Pretty big nerf there to steel passive. Bonus health scaling decreased on the Q. Additional monster damage decreased on the right click. And then all cooldowns, 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 cooldowns. Passive physical armors gained or lowered for Terra. Active armors decreased as well. The SD changed to better match what it is now. More cooldowns. Even more cooldowns. More cooldowns. Please remove this character from the game. Cooldown refund landmark / kill increased. Let's not buff Wraith. Why? Why do you do this? Actually, cooldown lowered late game on Wraith right click, which is interesting. There's probably a few characters that are like this where they get like 1 second off late game, but I'm not going to read all these fucking cooldown. Literally, if every character's getting cooldown reduction, I'm not reading all of it, I'm going to be honest. It's all the same change. Am I going to stream the patch? I don't care to play stuff early. I'll just play it when it comes out. Yin health decreased from 670 to 690. Just tankier and cooldowns. Low physical power scaling on the passive from Yurei auto attacks decreased. Healing decreased on the Q. Damage decreased on the 2. Bonus physical power scaling increased. Yurei actually getting some changes. Probably going to be a lot stronger next patch, which is just insta-die. Healing changed. Oh, it's Zig's right click, lower early game, higher late game. More scaling, so it's even higher than higher late game. The ult healing increased. I don't know if the ult is bugged right now. I know you were just in here, Ray. I'm pretty sure her ult is bugged, by the way, and not actually giving the... It's either not getting the scaling or it's not getting the base HP. I'm not sure which, but this is definitely incorrect. Unless you fixed that bug. I don't know if you guys were aware of it, but I was literally playing her yesterday, and it was telling me I was getting a 1300 HP shield, or heal, and I was getting like 400. This is definitely not accurate. One of these two numbers is not being calculated. I can tell you that for a fact. Mana restore increased as well. Cooldown increased. Into items. Let's go. Tenacity, just all being changed. Heal shield power being increased. They said this earlier. Tenacity. Physical power increase on Ashbringers. Interesting. Curse ring. Physical power increase. Attack speed increase as well. Still kind of a shit item. Demolisher getting extra power. Probably a good thing, honestly. Demolisher kind of a weak item right now. There's a lot of times you don't even build this on ADC until like 6th item, which feels really bad. Attack speed increased on Dust Devil. Not sure it needs it. Item's pretty good right now. Physical power increased on Equinox. Good item getting buffed. Imperator getting buffed. Lightning Hawk getting buffed. Okay, it's just an ADC patch. Nice. Physical power increase. Attack speed increase. Cost decrease. Attack speed decrease. Nuclear round still sucks. Quiver getting an extra 10% attack speed. Interesting. So we're just buffing ADCs across the board. Plasma Blade, extra power, more attack speed, resolution, more pen, more physical power, ruination, more physical power. Holy fuck, 70 physical power is a lot. I mean, Imperator having 65 is also a lot, but like, Revenant's gonna fucking slap. Scatter Shot, more power, more attack speed. Sky Splitter, more power, more attack speed. Solaris, more power. Spectre, more attack speed. Swordbreaker reverting the last patch, giving the attack speed and power back. Tainted, More power, more attack speed. Terminus, more power. Somebody told me this wasn't an ADC patch, and I feel like I was lied to. Vanquisher increased, Pen increased, Viper increased.
The party's this way.
This is interesting. DXS thing with a follow. Eden range would probably be, I would imagine, beatdown, it would be the same as her crest stacks. Like you would get it once per chance you'd get this crest stacks, which is every 5 hits. That would be my guess. Alternator, more power, more pen. Deathstalker, more power, more pen. Demon Edge, more power, more pen. Dread, more power, pen. Okay, so like, why are we increasing durability, adding stuff that increases your damage through Eternals, and then also increasing the damage on every single item? I literally said this earlier. What is the point of like giving everything an extra 5 to 10 damage while also increasing everybody's HP by like 2%? It'll just be the same fucking burst. There's just like 5 to 10 to everything, plus like a couple flat pen. I guess the flat pen changes did get shifted. So no, it was the shred that got shifted, not the flat pen. So like, I don't think that even matters. It's just so weird, man. Yes, because people were under the assumption it would be different. I'm pretty sure melee stance it would be per auto attack though, because you do get 1 crest stance per melee auto attack on Eden. So that I would imagine you get the full gold on. Tenacity is just being changed to the current values. Amulet Chaos increased. Astral Catalyst increased. Still dog shit items. Casca increased. Good. Cloud Hermes. Honestly, kind of a sleeper item, I feel like, low-key. Combustion increased. Nobody cares. Dream Miner, nobody cares. Entropy, nobody cares. I mean, Entropy is kind of interesting because it scales off your, like, the dot damage that it does. Dot damage. The bonus damage is based off your total power, so, like, that's kind of interesting. Also, all of these items getting more power makes Oblivion Crown a lot better. Also makes Spellbreaker a lot better. So, interesting to see if those get changed at all. Life Core, mana increased. Life Core is actually kind of a decent item. Low-key. Mega Cosmo increased. Love to see it. Love that item. Noxia increased. Oathkeeper increased. Oblivion Crown getting increased. Oblivion Crown, even better next patch. Overgrowth getting buffed. Sure. Ryan, haste adjusted to only get bonus attack speed from item source ability haste. Okay, this is what I was going to talk about. There was an augment that was like, your haste is converted to attack speed or something like that. And it was like, looked like you could get infinite, but I assume that's like not possible. I assume that's known. Just more power, just 5 to 10 power to everything. Right, things get an extra 10 items, already insane. Worldbreaker getting a little bit less tenacity. Gonna be easier to stat pad damage. I mean, damage theoretically should be higher because people have more HP and you're able to deal more damage to them. Obviously, if somebody said you can't deal damage. Healing shield power increased slightly on items. The frost bonus damage decreased. Slow duration increased, though. I hate that. Metagen increased. Nice. Fire Blossom, less damage. Fist of Riz, less max HP damage. Flux Matrix, tenacity reduction change from 10% to 50%. Is kind of fat. Inquisition damage decreased. Unbroken Will tenacity fixed. ARAM balance. I'm not going to read the ARAM balance. I don't care about ARAM, honestly. And this is a lot. See if there's any big bug fixes. Just scroll through real quick. I didn't see too much. Could gain double stacks from certain items while using Hellfire Rounds augment. That's interesting. Have we fixed the items that are broken yet? Like, you know, Boulder and the other item, Rebirth. Maybe we fix those 2 items. Yeah, I didn't expect too much balance changes, to be honest, but I do think it's weird to buff a lot of the damage for, especially the more damage-oriented classes, while also increasing everybody's HP, because it just kind of, it's a little counterproductive there. But I don't know, maybe it'll feel better on the patch. Overall, I think Eternal's kind of like a W. Obviously, they'll need to be adjusted a little bit. New map could be really good. We'll have to try it. I didn't try V4, so I'll have to try V5 and see how it's progressed. It's mostly just Eternals, the new character. New characters looks kind of interesting, but also like I don't know, kind of mid. We'll see. He's like a pen character, so I don't know. I'm not sure how. Without playing him, it's hard to really gauge him, but like based off what I saw, he looked kind of interesting. Not sure if I'll vibe with him or not, but he definitely will be pretty strong on release, I can imagine. Probably will not be let through in ranked at any point for a while. Yeah, I think overall I give the patch like 7.5, maybe an 8. It's hard to say without playing on it because these could change the game significantly. I do feel like 2 or 3 of them are going to be kind of built every single game, while the other like 8 or 9 are kind of irrelevant, unfortunately. Rating could be up or down after playing on it, but obviously I'd have to play on the patch, which is not out until Tuesday. But I hope everybody enjoys the patch, and I hope it's, I hope my rating increases after playing on it as opposed to decreasing. But we'll see. Hopefully, it's a good patch. I hope everybody has a good rest of their day, though. Thank you for watching. Everybody say goodbye to YouTube. Say goodbye to YouTube.
This patch has me excited.
If you made it this far, I don't know, call Choice a little bot or something. Call him a bald bozo or something.